Hello, hello, hello everyone. Flora here, 7-time author and your life coach to help you create a life that you are wildly obsessed with and so excited about. Now today we are going to continue the conversation that we had last week. We've been talking about saying no to certain things so that you can say yes to the life that you have been waiting to live. So some of the questions that I got from last week are, like, what if I just can't say no? Like, I feel so guilty. I feel so bad for saying no. Like, what are people gonna think of me? All these other things. And so I want to give you a little bit of an insight into something. So when you say no to someone, nothing changes. Like legit nothing changes, okay? So what do I mean by that, okay? So when someone asks you for something and you say no, they are still in the same place they were before they asked you. And vice versa. So if you ask someone something, you are still in the same space as you were before you asked. They're not helping or they're not doing whatever it is that you asked them to do, and you are now then pivoting and looking for somebody else to ask whatever it is that you want. So when you look at all the different things in life that people ask you to do, hey, could you chair this PTA meeting? Hey, could you help with a garage sale? Hey, could you help me mow my yard? Whatever it is, and you choose to say no because it's not a hell yes, because you really just don't feel like doing whatever it is. Remember that quote from last week by Courtney Carver. She said, I don't say no because I'm busy. I say no because I don't want to be busy. So when you say no, that person literally is in the same place they were before. Now all they need to do is just pivot and find somebody else. Find somebody else to ask to help them do whatever it is. So there's a great book called Good to Great by Jim Collins. And in this book, he talks about creating a stop doing list. Now, this is a really great way for you to get really clear about your boundaries for yourself and what you're no longer available to do. That way, when you are presented with an opportunity from someone who asks you something, and if it's on your stop doing list or I'm not doing this list, then you know it's going to be an automatic default. Like, absolutely not. You know what I mean? So, like, you could say, I don't lend people money, or I don't let people use my car. If you are a business owner, I don't take clients on Mondays and Fridays. I don't work on the weekends. I don't chair fundraising events, whatever that is. So you can choose, well, and also kind of going into kind of a different realm, I don't take seconds on food. I don't have a second glass of alcohol. I don't drink and drive. I don't eat past 7 p.m., whatever it is. I don't miss my workout. So whatever it is, give yourself permission to really look at that life that you are trying to create. You know, a few months back, we talked about our priorities. We looked at what is really important to you right now in your life. And so oftentimes I hear from people that, you know, I really want to do this, but I just don't have the time. Well, a couple months ago, we also talked about getting rid of our busy. We talked about really focusing on and paying attention to what we do during our day, what occupies our time during the day, and then to ask ourselves, do I really want to keep doing this? Is this productive? Is this moving me closer to the goal that I have in my life? Is this part of my priorities? Is this nurturing my relationships? Is this helping my physical body be healthy? Is this attributing to my wealth, or is this attributing to my debt? Whatever it is, you got to give yourself permission to first get clear on your priorities, which we actually looked at that a few months ago. And then we look at how to get unbusy so that you can have that time freedom to then pursue those things that you want. Well, and then we also looked at decluttering our life and get rid of all of the clutter that then, you know, occupies our time as well. And so now we're looking at, okay, so now that I know exactly what I want in my life and I know exactly what my priorities are and I've cleared the clutter, I've gotten rid of my busy, now this next thing is that yes and no thing that we have in our head. And often, so often, we find ourselves saying yes to people by default. And so when you can give yourself permission to start to look at those boundaries that you have with yourself and say, okay, what do I know for sure that I don't like doing? And what do I know for sure that I really love doing? And is that in alignment with where I know I'm going in my life now that I know what my priorities are? And so when you can do that, when you have that clear picture in your head, and this doesn't take a lot of time, this does not take a lot of time. Just literally get out a notebook, grab your notebook, write down, what are my priorities right now in my life? Okay, boom, it's this, 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 and this. All right, perfect. Okay, so if somebody asks me to do something, is that going to aid me in pursuing and achieving my priorities? It might. Let's just say one of your priorities is community involvement, and maybe one of the things that people ask you is to help out with a Habitat with Humanity project for the next 3 weekends. Perfect. You're like, hell yes. So that's a hell yes, because that's part of your priorities. It's part of those things that really just like light you the hell up. But if that's not part of your priorities, if one of your priorities is really connecting with family, and taking 3 weekends out of 1 month is going to hinder your connection with your family, then it's probably going to be a hell no. Granted, you know, that's a great cause, and maybe if the rest of your family wants to get on board and is excited to do it, then maybe you can do it with your family. So again, there's always a different way to look at the things that are coming into your realm, those opportunities, those doors that are opening for you once you start to have that time freedom, and once you start to eliminate all the stuff that's in your life that's holding you back from really doing those things that you really want to do. So one of the ways that you can start practicing saying no is to start saying no to yourself in some form or fashion. And when you start saying no to yourself in some form or fashion, then what happens is it's a lot easier to say no to other people. So what do I mean by this? Well, you can say no to that second piece of cake, or you can say no to skipping your workout, or you can say no to skipping your meditation or whatever. Like one of the things that I noticed yesterday was that my anxiety started to come in, and I was like, oh, how weird, because my anxiety has been at bay for quite a long time. And I was like, oh, how interesting. Well, my sleep habits have shifted a little bit. I've had to get up at like 4:45 to walk my dog before it gets hot, because right now, well, it's only 86 right now, but it's been in the hundreds the last several weeks. And then next week, I think it's gonna be like 108, 117, 116 here in Phoenix. So I have to get up early so that I can walk my dog before it gets hot. So that also means that I need to go to bed earlier as well. Well, I've been trying to get to bed earlier, and my body is just not wanting to go to sleep until like 11 o'clock. And so that's not giving me the 8 hours that my body really needs. And so I didn't have a nap the day before yesterday. And typically, if I'm short on sleep, I'll take like a 2-hour nap sometime before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I didn't have a nap. And so when all of a sudden I started to feel my anxiety start to come in, I'm like, oh, what's this about? Hang on. Okay. So I stopped what I was doing, and I gave myself permission to lay on my back, put my feet up on the couch, and just relax and meditate and breathe and do all the things that I know to do. And so in that instance, I said no to overthinking and having a panic attack. I said no to the cup of decaf that I had, because I know that caffeine spikes my anxiety. Even though it's decaf, there's still a little bit of caffeine in it. And when I said no to those things and gave myself permission to say yes to taking extra time during that morning, then what happened is all of a sudden I felt my anxiety go pff, boom. And I was like, yay, awesome. And so it's really easy to get caught up in all the shit that we have to do during the day. I mean, so easy, but you got to give yourself permission to be self-aware of what's going on so that you can have the life that you're excited about. You know, I mean, think about the last time that you had lunch with your girlfriends, or, you know, with your family, and think about how many times people complain about how they just don't have enough time to do anything, how time is going so fast, and how they can't believe it's already June, or they can't believe it's already whatever. And if you think about all the time, all the things that are occupying your time, that is what's robbing you of the life that you really want, that life that you're excited about, that life that you can't wait to get up and just start going after. So this truly is the only thing that's holding you back, is you saying no to all that bullshit. And if you start to say no to all that stuff, then you start to have that time freedom so that you can start to do those things that you really want to do, whether it's learn French or learn how to crochet or go travel or do whatever it is. And it all starts with, one, getting to know what your priorities are, and then finding time to do it and saying no to those things that are keeping you busy, saying no to the clutter, saying no to all the BS that's holding you back and all the excuses that we have in our head. Believe me, everybody has them. Now, if you haven't read the 1 Degree Shift book that I wrote, I will put a link in the comments so you can grab it. I talk all about this and I decode getting excited in this book. And next week, what we're going to talk about is we're going to actually do some journaling exercises. So I want you to, like, you know, bookmark my page, hit that notification bell so that you get notified whenever my videos come up, because this is going to be huge. Our next, I've got five prompts for you that are going to crack you open and help you, like, make saying no to other people and no to yourself so much easier, so that you can start saying yes to those things that really truly matter for you. Okay, so I'm going to end this video with a quote that I shared with my group several weeks ago, and it says, every yes we say to someone else, you're saying no to yourself. Every yes that we say to someone else, you're saying no to yourself. That's a quote from myself during our Lunch and Learn monthly theme kickoff that we had inside of the 1 Degree Shift Tribe. And I'm telling you, when you give yourself permission to truly say no because you don't want to be busy, and you really give yourself permission to start saying yes to those things that you really want to do, your whole life changes. Your whole life changes. So in the comments, you're going to find 2 links. The first link is for the 1 Degree Shift book. If you have not gotten it, grab your book. If you truly want to dig into all of this stuff with me privately or personally with the other group of people that are doing it, go ahead and click link number 2, which is the 1 Degree Shift Tribe. This is a community where everyone is tired of the bullshit and they're getting ready and they're creating a life that they're super, super excited about. So if you are ready to be part of a community of women who are just, well, actually not just women, just anybody who really just wants to have a life that they're excited about, and they're ready to be unbusy, they're ready to declutter their life, not just physically, but spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, go ahead and click link number 2, join us. We just had our group coaching today. It was really powerful. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be sure to come back here next week for our little workshop that we're going to be doing to help you be able to say no so that you can say yes to the life that you want. All right, I hope this serves you. I love you, and I will see you soon. Mwah! Bye.